This is the video that I actually meant to make last week. Unfortunately, negativity and anger took me off of that path, and for that, I do apologize. Saying sorry doesn't always mean that you were wrong. Sometimes it means you value your relationships more than your ego. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, and actually today I'm here to, I guess, just address all of you personally in the best way that I can and that I see fit. Now that the, I guess the dust has cleared and the smoke has settled, or do they say the dust has settled and the smoke has cleared, I think, from all of this, nonsense that's been going on surrounding the artwork, and really just everyone that's been trying to get an explanation or an answer or wanting to have another side to things. And for the most part, I've tried to stay fairly quiet, I guess you would say, about it. And really, there's no reason to. It's not for any type of admission of guilt or anything like that, because really the only thing that I'm guilty of is, honestly, I'm very naive in the sense that when I was looking for, drawings to reference, I used Google Images and, I typed in a name and found, whatever I was looking for and found something, used it as reference. And I don't really care what your, and this part is actually directed towards the hateful people that like to hang on to all this spite and hatred. I don't really care what your personal definition is of reference. You can call it tracing, you can call it copying, you can call it whatever you want. But unfortunately, you select few that are accusing me of using tricks and things like that in Photoshop. You're really the only ones that know how to do that. So as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of like with a fart, who smelt it, dealt it, right? It's the same type of situation with you. You're accusing me of using a skill set that I do not have, that I do not possess, and I've never possessed. Maybe at one point I will. And it really just seems, after looking at your so-called evidence that you've put up, that really you're the ones that are guilty of using Photoshop and changing things with shading or whatever the hell it is that's going around. But this video is not for those hateful few, those ones that spread things around. This video is, it's first of all, like I said, the thing that I do have to apologize for is not properly crediting the handful of artists that I actually did wind up, using their picture as reference, their original drawing as reference, and not actually crediting them properly and saying, hey, I use this person as reference. I really did. I mean, the only thing that I'm guilty of is being naive in the sense that, I just have figured that it was, it was like official artwork. I mean, many of the things that I've drawn are just straight out, manga panels from the actual mangas, obviously minus the word bubbles and things like that. And as far as that goes too, as things have gotten bigger over here, I sometimes forget that I should probably, go and remind people that it is just fan art and that it was drawn, most of them, a majority of them, from using references. And regardless of whether you want to believe that or not, I've always been about, expressing my opinion, but I don't try to force it on anybody else. So I'm not here to try to gain favor from everybody. For those of you that seek negativity and anger, angst, hatred, and all the type of garbage that a lot of times surrounds this community, you'll find it. You'll definitely find it. But you're also the purveyors of that hatred too. You're the ones that try to spread it and try to take something that's this big and put it under a microscope and then try to blow it up. And there's no need for any of that, because there is no type of scandal or scam or anything like that going on. Also, another one of the popular beliefs that seems to be out there, and like I said, this is mainly just to set people straight, I guess, or at least explain my side of things to my fans, to the people that have been looking and seeking an explanation from me. So, as far as many of you saying, well, and he built his channel because he went and he bribed other reviewers with artwork and everything else, that there could be nothing further from the truth than that. When I came into this community and met EOP and King of Lightning and a lot of the other guys, King of Lightning took a couple hours with me one night and spoke with me on the phone, gave me some advice about my channel, explained some of the trials and tribulations that he's gone through to help try to prepare me for what I might have ahead of me, and really just was very, very nice about it. Very, very cordial, very candid. And obviously I knew that he was a big fan of Sanji and a few other characters as well. But I wound up, he had already given me a shout out, and I don't like taking anything for free, you know, and there's not much that I could contribute back to him and somebody with a channel of his size. So I said, let me get your address, you know, and he said, well, what for? I said, I'd like to send you, you know, some artwork over here. And granted, they're just, you know, prints of the actual artwork that I did. But I sent him some, and he decided all on his own to do an unboxing video of it. And as a matter of fact, when he did, and I saw that there was this 15 or 20-minute video, you know, I sent him a text, and I said, man, I appreciate that, but you didn't need to do that. And he said, no, don't worry about it. It's fine. You know, I wanted to, this and that. Well, King of Lightning has a bigger channel, and a lot of other reviewers will see somebody with a bigger channel do something, and they'll follow suit. So in the months that followed, other reviewers that I had already been acquaintanced or friends with prior to that, you know, some of them asked for artwork. Some of them I offered. I said, hey, man, give me your address. I'll send you some. That's fine. But there was never any type of shout-outs that were done because of the artwork. It was never used in exchange or as payment for. There was many reviewers, such as Teching, Double 4 Anime, Zombie Zebra Manga. A lot of these guys, without ever even having talked to them at the time, just wanted, out of the goodness of their heart, because I was doing something unique and bringing something positive to this community, they gave me a shout-out. And what I want to make clear about that is that many of you may have came over here based on a recommendation from somebody else, but let's face facts. You stayed here because you enjoy the reviews. You enjoy the hard work that I put into everything. You can see that. You see the sincerity, the honesty. You enjoy my reactions. You enjoy just watching me go through some of these series and sharing that with me. And for many of you, the One Piece reviews have become a part of your daily life. You know, you get up in the morning and before you go to work or to school, while you're having your breakfast or your coffee, I've had countless people send me messages about, and I watch your review for the day. And although it's very flattering and humbling, I always think to myself, why the hell would anybody want to wake up and watch one of my videos, you know? But the bottom line is that, unfortunately, as you get bigger with things, you know, you always have that jealousy and that hatred. But I would like to take this opportunity as well to apologize to the majority of the members in the J Room. When I made that last week, when I made that video, I was fighting against anger, negativity, and hatred with anger, negativity, and hatred. And that's not who I am. That's not what I've ever been about. And anybody who's been around here for a while knows that. The majority of the things that were coming my way were just very frustrating. Obviously, you know, the different types of just garbage and threats and everything else. You know, after a while it starts to wear on you, and unfortunately, when you get bombarded with things like that, sometimes you make a mistake and you go, and that's exactly what that was. It was a mistake for me to do that. So I'm not going to apologize for the words that I said, because what I said is absolutely true. Certain people within the J Room, and probably a very small percentage of them, a small vocal few, unfortunately has given a bad outlook, I guess, for the silent many. The ones that sit there and don't say anything and they watch these purveyors of anger and negativity and hatred just go and spread it around, that unfortunately gives a bad name for everybody. And not just from me, just in general in the community. People know that most things start and just wind up expanding through certain members in the J Room. However, many of you either misunderstood my words or they were twisted around by others that tried to use this nonsense as a tool to make themselves look better, to bring attention to themselves, to gain more views, subscribers, whatever the case is. And there's no point in calling people out, or they know who they are. And the people that actually watched the video and paid attention to it are the same ones that you'll see in the comments now saying he never said that it was the entire J Room. He said that this was spread out through the J Room, you know, and it was expounded on in the J Room. And that's exactly what happened. So, but I'm not going to get into pointing fingers at anybody. I just wanted to let those that mistook my words and didn't understand quite what I was saying to understand that my part in this is not to be negative and hate-filled and rage-filled and everything else. And I can only control me. I'm not going to try to control or sway your opinion, your thought process. If you find negativity and hatred and you think that I'm guilty of something, then no matter what happens, no matter what I say, no matter what I do, you're still going to feel that way. If you're a person who likes to go and look at things objectively, you'll see that this is really something that was blown out of proportion and really has nothing to do with any of you. The only people that it would have anything to do with is myself and the handful of artists that I didn't properly credit and reference for their work. So again, this is mainly just for the fans that watch my videos on a daily basis that may be confused or may have gotten drawn into this, may have gotten led by others and other commenters and other, you know, people in general. And that's really what it's for. So I am not a person, again, who tries to force my opinion on anybody else. I've always encouraged in the comments and everything else, when I, you know, review a chapter and I say, this really pissed me off and everything else, I'll always say, but you may think differently and you're entitled to your own opinion, and I respect that. So at the end of the day, I think what everyone should look at and understand is that out of these two imaginary sides that have been made up in this, me and some others being on one side, and then of course some others being on that side, really, who's been trying to spread the anger and the hatred? Who's trying to go and show you proof and sway your opinion, and you, oh my God, I can't believe, you know? And, you know, it's all the pretend YouTube lawyers that are out there, all of a sudden art critics, all of those that all of a sudden just take the moral high ground, you know? They go and they spread any type of anger and hatred and lies as much as they can, and then they go and they expect you to believe them when they show you their doctored up, you know, proof or whatever the case is. And I know that this may piss some people off, but I have much better and bigger and more important things to do than go on to YouTube and watch the nonsensical videos that others have made to try to draw attention to themselves and grab some free views. So many people who've said, oh, and you just did this because this person schooled you. Sorry, pal. I didn't even care enough to watch their video. I don't even care that it exists. I don't care what type of, what type of views they get from it and everything else. But just remember that the same people that are trying to push this stuff down your throats and trying to come after me and nail me to the cross are the same people that are wildly jealous of anybody who does anything different than them, anybody that they perceive as being more popular than them, anybody that they perceive and make excuses for their popularity. These are the same people that go and try to target bigger reviewers, people like Sawyer7 Mage or For Neverworld, and they say, oh, and they've only got, and there's always an excuse. Well, they've only got this many subscribers and views because they do this, you know? And the whole reason that I initially went and said what I said in that video, other than, of course, being angry and just, you know, pissed off in general what was going on, nobody likes to be accused of things that they have not done, and nobody likes to be told repeatedly by a bunch of people that, you know, again, really don't have any business in this to go and come clean and you want me to come clean and lie about something that I didn't do. I always admitted to using references, and that's always what I'll admit to. There's no moral high ground that you're going to take where you're going to get me to go and confess to something that I've never done. So if that's what you're looking for, you're never going to get that, and I'm sorry for that. If that's, you know, if that's what you're looking for. But the point being is that about 6 or 7 months ago, there was some stuff that had perpetuated and spread amongst a few different groups, one of them being the J Room. And I was told about it because I have several hundred, if not thousand, loyal subscribers and friends within the community. And the big thing was everybody was comparing me to For Neverworld. Oh, well, this guy, he's just too positive and nice about everything, and he's just doing that to gain the casual subscriber, you know? So that was the thing that everybody was trying to blow up about 6 or 7 months ago. And unfortunately, it was such a non-issue that it just didn't take hold. It didn't take hold, and, you know, through the proper channels, and the proper people didn't go and make videos about it and try to make it into something that it wasn't. And that's really what this is too. This is something that is none of anybody's business. And regardless of what you think or what you don't think, nothing was built off of this. Nobody's over here like Scrooge McDuck swimming in money because of any of this. It was simply something that I've always said, hey, listen, I don't know anything about manga and anime and the style itself. And many of these drawings were just stylized, you know, referenced versions, whatever you want to call them, copied versions that I did. So again, I'm not going to get into, you know, excuses or this is why I hate this person, that's why I hate that person. I personally don't have any problems with anybody in this community. And for those that I've heard that, you know, have decided to go and turn against me and everything else, listen, man, you're the one that's got to sleep at night. No one bothered trying. Any of the people that have come out against me, none of them even attempted prior to that to go and contact me and to say, hey, listen, man, this is what I think, or this is what I know, what's your side of the story. And it is what it is. Again, I'm not here to change people's opinions or their mind about anything. I've never been about that. I encourage you to think on your own, and I hope that you do think on your own. And if you eventually wind up coming back around and watching my videos and my reviews, so be it. And if you don't, that's fine. There's plenty of other very talented, very good reviewers out there. So if you were hoping for some kind of apology for something that I didn't do, sorry that that didn't happen here. And if you were hoping to find some kind of, hate-fueled, I gotta go and fire back against the people who fire back against me, I honestly haven't even cared enough to go and look at whatever videos or whoever it is that's supposedly attacking me. Again, jealousy, pettiness, those type of things, and anger and hatred, you see a lot of it in this community. And I don't know if it's, the immaturity of the community in general, if it's because the community is, a little bit smaller. But I think just like Tekking said, everybody likes to go and beat the drum about how this is such a community, like we're some close-knit church group, when in reality, most people, it seems like, are just looking for a reason to hate other people. There's such divisiveness in this community. You're either with this reviewer or with that reviewer, and if you like both of them and you say that publicly in the comments, you get blasted for it. I know I was getting blasted by certain individuals because I had spoke with certain other individuals in the community, and my answer was always, I don't care what your personal issues are with that person. I don't have an issue with them. That person has approached me or I've approached them. We've talked, we've hung out a little bit, we've gotten to know each other. I'm not about trying to create rivalries and divisiveness within a community. I've always been about honesty, sincerity, giving my first initial impressions on some of these series. Hell, what I've done in the community, to me, I always looked at as like, well, whatever, it's nothing special. But there's been dozens of others that have tried to copy what I've done. And you know what I've always said? I don't have any copyright or claim to the idea. It's just something that I did, and honestly, it's kind of flattering that others would go and try to go and imitate or mimic or ape that type of style or whatever of reviewing. I thought that was actually really cool. I thought, wow, it must be doing something good if other people are trying to do it too. But anyway, that's about all that I have to say. So I want to make sure that that everyone, of my fans, all of the members, the brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation, any of you that happen to watch this, you understand that I don't have any rage or anger or negativity about this in my heart, because I know what I've done. I've already taken steps to go and rectify, my grievous error of not crediting a handful of artists for the reference that I used, using their work obviously as reference. But again, that's my personal business between me and them, not between me and you. But I do need to make sure that I kind of lay this all out there and let the brothers and sisters of the nation know that this type of stuff, it's going to happen. As we get bigger here, there's going to be attacks. There's going to be attacks from people. And you know what's funny is that I have so many flaws. There's so many things that you could attack me about that I could sit here and probably give you a list of 10 or 12 of them that you could go and bring the torches and pitchforks out and make videos and everything else about. But the bottom line is that the brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation, the ones that know me, you deserved a video like this, to let you know where I stand with things and what has gone on, what's transpired, and also to just kind of set the record straight on a few different things. Regardless of whether it changes your opinion or not, I just want everybody to know that this channel certainly wasn't built off of me sending out artwork that you think is copied to other reviewers in exchange for shoutouts, and that's how I have, a few thousand subscribers over here. The reason that people come here and stay here is because the fact that it's a good, positive place to be, unlike many of the other comment sections for many of the other reviewers out there, And just remember that it's okay to be mad or to be angry. Just remember, it's okay to be mad. Just make sure that you're directing your anger at the right person or for the right reasons. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it. I'm going to leave everything open. You want to leave comments down below. Some of you want to, argue about this and that and everything else about what's right or what's wrong or what I said or what I didn't say. Go ahead, have at it. I'm not going to be looking at them because honestly I am. I'm past this. I'm done with this. It's business as usual for me. I just felt that this was necessary to let the loyal brothers and sisters, the real brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation know what was going on, you know. And if there's a handful of you that were swayed by the negative public opinion, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to try to change your mind or your opinion. So, and then certainly subscribe if you haven't done so already. And we'll look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation. I'm truly sorry to anyone who took my words out of context, and I'm also sorry for the negativity and the anger that I went and combated with negativity and anger on my own. It's not who I am, and it's not who I'll ever be. So regardless of what public opinion may be, I'm not ever going to let it change me and who I am.